What to say at the end of a YouTube video. What you say at the end of your YouTube video could make or break your entire YouTube career. YouTube is one of the best ways an entrepreneur can get on YouTube and make lots of money. So let me share with you in this video exactly what you should be saying and, more importantly, maybe what you shouldn't say.
All right, Noelle, as we dive into this, let's talk about why.
Yeah.
Why is the ending so important?
The ending is so important because it is the call to action. Literally, if you could get someone to get all the way to your YouTube video ending, you have gold. They are so interested in you. You have really gotten them into you. And this is your opportunity to make them some type of offer. Now, it does not have to be you offering a product or service or anything like that. It could easily just be, okay, I got you to this end of the video. Maybe now is my chance to get you to subscribe to my channel because, again, this is the end of the video. I need to close out with a very important offer.
So a lot of people come to me with their channels. I hadn't helped them before and they just say, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
This is the part that they always do wrong. They're missing it. And I feel like you're putting so much effort into your channel.
Yes.
You're putting out all this amazing content.
Right.
And people watch it and get value.
Yeah.
They get to the end and it's like
ends.
such a lost opportunity.
Yeah, or just drops off and it's like, all right, there you go.
And for the intent of what we're talking about here, the whole audience on YouTube Hero, we are entrepreneurs. We use YouTube to generate leads for your business. So
Correct.
if you don't have a call to action, it's like,
how are you getting leads?
Like,
exactly. And I think
leads.
that's the big misunderstanding of what people are doing on YouTube. Like you said, we're entrepreneurs. We know that YouTube can be used so well for lead generation because you have this opportunity to explain them, teach them, show them who you are, give them your personality. You really can get your audience to love you. Like that's a great opportunity. So not taking the opportunity at the end to say, hey, you can work with me this way, or you can talk to me here, or you can see more of me, or you can help me by doing X, Y, and Z. There's just so much opportunity to give them something. It's like the law of reciprocity. Like, I gave you this, now, hey, want to do something for me? And people want that.
That's awesome. So let's break it down a little bit so that the viewer really understands. And I want to emphasize, we're not talking about sales videos. So in the entire episode, we're giving to them. We're not focusing on us and what's in it for us, or
Great
hey,
point.
look at me. It's, hey, I've got an answer. I know you've got a question. I'm going to help you out. And so when it talk about building that reciprocity, it's because we're giving so much.
Exactly.
We're talking for 10 minutes, helping them.
Yes.
And we get to the end of the video and we can make an offer to a product or service, but most often we're giving them a gift.
Yeah.
So
you know what, let me kind of interrupt you because this is like amazing. You said that point, but there's a point that I think that most entrepreneurs miss with the fact that you gave a lot. So I think most people think that I'm going to make this YouTube video and I'm going to hold back a little bit. I'm not going to share all my secrets. And that just is not the truth. You're really going to give first. You're going to tell the whole story. Try to give them as much as you can in that amount of time. And then they really do feel like that law of reciprocity does kind of get triggered because you did give. So that part is so important. I just had to like jump in and say it's so important that your video is valuable.
Yeah, and you really don't hold anything back. If you've got 10 secrets and you tell them, I'm going to share with you 5, and then you have to pay for the other 5, that's not going to work so well.
It's not going to work.
The reality is, in a YouTube episode, you've got 10 to 12 minutes. You can't tell them everything. But when you do keyword research and you really narrow it down to a specific question, 10 minutes, that is a lot of time. It's kind of the perfect amount of time to give them a whole bunch of value and answer that question completely.
Right.
But then you get to the end of that, and what do? Give them a gift. Give them a gift that they then enter their name, their email address, sometimes their phone number. Sometimes they do a free plus shipping offer. So they give you their shipping information.
Yeah. I've seen so many different, we could really go and I could list out 100 different things that could be your call to action. Obviously, like you said, it could be a freebie. It could be even a recap of the video that you've made. That's a very popular one. Like, okay, my call to action is if you want a summary or a cheat sheet of everything I said here, go download it at X, Y, and Z. And why I really, really like those, especially with newer channels, is because it's free, obviously. And 2, you're grabbing email addresses. And I know we'll talk about that in a second, but growing your email list with YouTube, priceless.
So I know when we've talked in the past, you've tried a lot of different calls to action, and I
Yes.
wanted to say which ones have been the most fruitful, like the most
Wow,
successful.
that's a hard question because obviously I think I have 1,000 videos. I literally have 1,000 videos on YouTube now. I've been doing it for 4 years. But as I was mentioning earlier, in the beginning when the channel first started, the best call to action was to my free webinar because I had made an entire webinar really teaching about how to invest in real estate with no money. And it really takes more than 10 minutes to teach someone how you buy a house with no cash or credit. So I made a longer webinar that was about an hour long. And that was my call to action really early because that was really giving them a little bit more. So I could say, hey, you watched this video, you really enjoyed it. Go get my free class at noellsfreetraining.com or noellsfreeclass.com. These are real call to actions, by the way. And they would then go watch that class and get a real deep dive of what I was teaching on. And so for me in the beginning, that was an amazing call to action, super profitable, super helpful. The audience really was receptive to it. I mean, it's just hit on all different buttons. So that was probably one of my better ones. Obviously the books, you talk about that. I love books and giving away a book because readers are leaders. That's just one of the things that I believe. So I'm always saying that if you're obviously watching a YouTube video, you could read a book on this and really get some deep dive. So I love books as well. What are some other things that you've seen with your other clients?
I predicted that those two were going to be the two that you would say. If you think about the webinar, it makes sense. If somebody goes to Google or YouTube and they type in a question,
right,
they find you, you
yes.
spent 10 minutes answering their question.
That's right.
They love you already.
Right.
And then you tell them, I want to give you everything and
right.
go watch a webinar. So that one makes sense.
Yes.
And then, yeah, books are tangible. We know how valuable books are
right.
when you can really tell them what's inside a book. So
right.
when you tell them, I've got a book that's got my entire Airbnb real estate strategy yes. and they can get it for free.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's very
powerful,
compelling.
Very compelling, very powerful. And it really gets you more of a lifelong type of subscriber. Like this is how you really can grow, not from just getting views and things, but really building this almost tenacious, following for yourself where they just are really indoctrinated to you, your culture, what you're teaching, your whole thing. So I love it. I love the books. I do it. That probably would have been my second one. But of course, I know for newer people, writing a book and publishing a book.
So here's something else that I
do.
teach and that I share.
Okay.
What you name it is actually more important than what you deliver. Now, what you deliver needs to be valuable.
Right.
But you've got to give it a name. And I guess equal with that, you've got to be able to describe the value of it. Mm-hmm. So just to share a story, Michelle Villalobos, a good friend of mine, okay. We had scheduled a filming date and I thought that we had talked about our call to action, but she hadn't ironed it out. Okay. So we actually turned off the cameras. We said, okay, we got to figure this out before we film.
Right.
And we spent about 30 minutes just like, okay, what could I create? What could I give that would kind of be valuable to all of these videos? We were filming 20 episodes in that day. Yeah. Well, we came up with the first word. She wanted it to be something like, I teach entrepreneurship, I teach money, I teach success, revenue, like what word should we use? And she picked the word monetize. Okay. So, okay, monetize what? It could be monetize your business, monetize your products. Yeah. Well, with her brand and the way, all the different things that she helps people with, she chose the word magic. Okay. So it's like monetize your magic. Okay, monetize your magic what? Like monetize your magic report, monetize your magic download. We wanted like something that sounded better than that sounded valuable. Yeah. So we came up with the name Monetize Your Magic Playbook. Ooh. Yeah, it sounds good. That does. So she had a vision of what this would be, but she hadn't created it yet. Okay. But on that filming day, that was the gift that she gave at the end of each of her videos. Hey, if you valued what we taught in this episode, I've got a gift for you. It's called my Monetize Your Magic Playbook. And she would describe something about it, and then she was taking notes of, okay, I'm going to make sure to put that in there. Yeah. And what she created afterwards was beautifully designed. It was high value. I love it. And she uses it to this day. I love it. I love it. And that's another great thing about the YouTube. As you start to make the videos, you actually do create the complimentary gifts, the complimentary webinars. Like you really start to think, okay, I know I only had 10 minutes to make this video. What else of value, again, value being the key word, could I give my audience that's really going to take this to the next level? Okay, Nate, so this is a great question. So does the content determine the CTA? Well, I would say yes and no. Okay. In the example I shared with Michelle, we needed to come up with one call to action for all 20 episodes. Okay. So we came up with something that was a little bit more broad or a little bit more vague that would apply to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want the conversion rate
Mm-hmm.
to increase, meaning you want more people to opt in,
Right.
think about how specific it is. If you're talking specifically about fixing your credit for an Airbnb property, and then
Right.
you have a gift that relates to credit and
Right.
that makes sense, the gift.
Yes.
Versus if you were to talk about that same thing, credit and Airbnb, but
Mhm.
you have a checklist for paperwork when doing
Right.
properties. It's not directly
Yeah,
related.
gotta be relevant. Needs to be relevant.
So I think it is important that the gift needs to relate to what you're talking about, but I have seen clients go overboard with that and have 20 different lead magnets that they give for 20 different episodes.
Right,
and that's a
right.
lot of work because that's 20 different landing pages.
Right.
So the next thing I want to ask you about, because we've talked about having this call to action at the end of the video.
Right.
Do you deliver it anywhere else?
So yes, obviously there's two different parts. So we'll talk about this in a second, I'm assuming, but there's mid-video engagement, which is where you may stop and say, hey, are you enjoying this? Comment below, tell me what you're thinking about what we're saying. We would love to hear your opinions. I actually do read all of the comments. Nate and I love reading your comments. Comment below and tell us this has been useful for you. That type of engagement, that could be in the middle, but that's not necessarily a call to action. So I usually try not to offer the call to action until it's appropriate, if you get what I'm saying. So yes, I have played and dabbled with it, but I can honestly say I don't think it's as effective in the middle of the video saying, hey, do you want my book, before you've kind of given why they would want it. So
Yeah, I agree with you. But a lot of people disagree. And here's why they disagree.
yeah.
They say by the time you get to the end of the video, you might only have 30 or 40 or 50% of the
That's
people
right.
remaining.
That's right.
Versus definitely a higher amount earlier in the video. So when there's sponsorships or something that an ad that people put within their video,
That's right.
they want it earlier versus later.
They do. And we can have a conversation. Usually they actually require, I've done some sponsored content, and you have to put it in the first 5 minutes. And
So we do things a little bit differently, but
Yeah.
we do it intentionally.
yeah.
The people that make it to the end of the video,
Yeah.
they are the ones that are most likely
are.
to buy. They're the
They
ones
are.
that have built this
Correct.
relationship.
Correct.
But I think that there are ways that you can seed it or hint at it.
Correct.
So say I'm giving away a book at
Right.
the end of the video, I'm
Yes.
giving away a book for free.
Right.
Well, during the videos I'm teaching a principle, I can say, yeah, one of the principles I teach in my book is, and then I continue on
Great
with the
point.
video.
Great point.
So I've kind of hinted at, they're like, oh, he's got a book.
Yes, great point. And I think that's the better way to do it, is to seed. Unless, of course, you're doing sponsor content, someone paid you to make that video, you have to do it that way. But if you're truly trying to build your audience and build the channel, you could seed that you have something, or if you stay to the end. But the actual call to action, I don't know. I would save that to the end.
Right. You guys can probably guess, I do have a gift for you. Now, this book I put 2 years of work into.
He did.
I produce over 50 different channels.
Yes.
And I take you behind the scenes and show you how we've gotten the same results on every one of them. I want you to have those same results as well. I printed this in color because I took a lot of screenshots of the analytics, and I take you behind the scenes so that you know how to leverage YouTube for lead generation. This is my gift to you. You just pay the shipping costs. Go to natesyoutubebook.com.